Hello students, welcome to Accounting 1304, Introduction to Accounting 2. This is Dr. Mercado speaking. I hope all of you are having a great week thus far. This is week number 15, which is running from April the 26th through May the 2nd. We are almost at the finish line. We are almost at the end of the semester. Now for the next 2 weeks, you are going to be working on a group project. So you have week 15 and week 16 to work on a group project, and I'll be going over the details in a little bit, okay? So just make sure that you communicate with your group members immediately so you can begin working on this assignment because it is worth 15%, 150 points of the semester, okay? So let me jump over to Blackboard so we can go over the logistics of the assignments for the next 2 weeks, okay? Okay, we're going to go to course content and we're going to start in week number 15. Okay, now for week 15, we're going to start the week by learning about internal controls. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is read chapter 7 appendix. Okay, and I've included a link to the appendix here on your Blackboard folder. Okay, so you go in there and you read chapter 7 appendix. Okay, so now in this particular week, we are going to learn about internal controls. There's a lot of information included in chapter 7 that is going to be very beneficial for you to complete your assignment, but I don't want you just to rely on your ebook as the sole source for your project. I do need for you to go out there and explore more about the topic using other avenues, look at articles, other videos, anything else that's out there on the internet, so you can supplement the information being provided in chapter 7 appendix. Okay, so additional research needs to be conducted to be able to complete the group project. Okay, so chapter 7 appendix deals with internal controls. The ebook goes over the explaining the importance of internal controls, defining internal controls and describing its key components, describing selected internal controls for cash receipts, and describing selected internal controls for cash payments and the use of a voucher system. Okay, that is what chapter 7 covers. Okay, that does not mean that it covers everything that you need to know about internal controls. That is why part of the assignment is that you go out there and you utilize all of the resources that are available to conduct additional research to expand on that information that is provided to you in chapter 7 appendix, so you can be able to learn more about the importance of internal controls. Okay, so now for this week, for week number 15, you do not have any assignments that need to be submitted. Okay, no assignments need to be completed. All you have to do is read chapter 7 and begin coordinating, establishing communication with your group members, and begin working on the group project. Okay, that's all you have to do this week. So, the assignments for the week is to begin coordinating and working with your assigned group members on group project 1. The final project is due on Sunday, May the 9th, 2021 at 11 p.m. Now, I don't want you to procrastinate. Don't leave the assignment till the very end, okay? You want you to start working on it immediately during week number 15. That way you can have enough time to collaborate with each other, to review each other's work, okay? To make sure that all of the requirements are being satisfied, all the criteria are being met, okay? So right here we have a link for you to get to the chapter 7 appendix, which you need to read. And then below that, I've got your group project instructions, okay? So I've included 2 files. One of them are the instructions. The other one is the group member list. I've put you in groups. There's 3 groups, and I've put students in groups. I basically did a little raffle, and whoever, it was based on luck. I didn't select group members in any random order. I just raffled them out and put you in groups. So those 2 things are being provided to you this week so you can begin working on the assignment. I do want to urge all of you to please establish communication with your group members immediately. Okay, send out a Blackboard message, let them know, okay, we're in the group together. How do you want us to communicate? This is my phone number. We're going to be creating a WhatsApp group, or however is it that you all want to communicate as a group. That is up to you. Okay, but what I do want is for you all to establish communication. I don't want you coming to me next week on week number 16 on Thursday or Friday and say, Miss, none of my classmates have responded. Okay? Something that I want to encourage is that all students set a time limit. Okay? Go ahead and send out an email. Say, okay, I'm in group number 1. Please send me your contact information so I can create a WhatsApp group so we can communicate through there. or we will be communicating through here. Please send me your phone number in case we need to reach you, or whatever the case might be. Okay, but please state on your message. Okay, this is group number one, and how can we phrase this? You can say there is a deadline for you to communicate back with us. Please contact me with your contact information by no later than whatever date you feel that you need, by Wednesday, by Thursday, whatever is it that you feel comfortable with. That way we know that we are going to include you in the group project, and we can begin designating the assigned workload for each student. Okay, failure for you to respond timely will result in you being withdrawn from the group. Okay, why do I say this? Because it happens every semester. Okay, I have a student that never responds. The group assumes that that group member is not going to participate, and then 2 days before the project is due, these students appear magically, and they want to be part of the group when the work has already been done. Okay, and then they come to me and then they tell me, well, miss, they didn't let me participate. Well, they didn't let you participate because by that time the group had already finished the project. Okay, so to prevent that from happening, you as a group have to set a limit and say, you know what, if I don't hear back from you by this date, you're out of the group. Okay, contact the teacher, let her know that you didn't respond timely, to see what she tells you to do. Okay, but you as a group need to take the initiative and say, okay, I expect students to respond by this date and this time. If no response is obtained, I'm going to assume you will not be participating in the project. That way, the rest of the group can begin working on the project and we can meet the deadline. Okay, that is just my recommendation. Okay, because I've seen it so many times, and students, some students put in so much work, and then you have the other students that just want to come in at the very last minute and don't do anything and still get the points. Okay, only the group members that actively participate in the group project will earn the points. Okay, so it's very important that you communicate with your group members. You continue to maintain communication with them, help each other out, collaborate. This is a group project. I am not going to grade you based on the slides that you did. I'm going to grade you based on the overall quality of your entire presentation. So it is to your best interest to ensure that all group members do a good quality work. That way you all get a good grade. Okay? Okay, having that said, I'm going to start off with the member list. Okay, this is provided to you. These are the 3 groups that I have. Okay, group number 1, we have Jessica Pais, Carlos Ramos, Vanessa Garcia, and Melissa Garza Zarate. Group number 2, we've got Casey Patterson, Griselda Peña, Daniel Izaguirre, and Lorena Chapa. And then group number 3, we've got Lisette Bermejo, Martha Ostos de Valdez, Guadalupe Garcia, and Ruth Cabrera. Okay, these are the students that have or continue to be enrolled in my class as of the day that I created the member list. Okay, the drop date has already passed, so I'm hopeful that these are the students that will continue to stay in my class for the rest of the semester. Okay, this is the group distribution list. It's 4 members per group. Please make sure that you establish communication. Please respond timely to any inquiries you receive from your classmates. That way you all can figure out what to do, how to distribute your work as a group. Okay, so that's that. The next thing we have are the group project requirements. Okay, so in this group project, you're not only going to learn about internal controls, but you're also going to learn about working together in groups, which is super important for when you enter the workforce. Okay, working in groups is something you cannot get around. And I've had so many students give me the feedback, Miss, I do not like to work in groups. Well, I don't like to work in groups either, but it is necessary that we learn how to work in groups because we are going to be forced to work with other people when we go out there in the workforce. So we need to learn to collaborate, to figure things out as a group to be able to complete the assigned project. Okay. Now in this project, a PowerPoint presentation is going to be developed. All students in the group must participate in researching, preparing the presentation, and recording the presentation audio. All group members need to present. Okay, I want to hear your voices. I want to hear your names. That way I know that you participated. The PowerPoint presentation needs to be between 13 to 15 slides of content. This is actual information. Okay. Now don't give me blank slides. I've had students put in like title slides in between the presentation to fill in the slide count. That does not work. The slide needs to have actual content that explains, a requirement. You can't just have title slides in the presentation. Okay, it has to be 13 to 15 slides of actual content explaining the different criterias. This excludes the cover page and the reference page. You do need to have a cover page that includes the name of your class, your group names, and the title presentation. That way I know who participated. Whoever you choose to put on that title slide are the students that actively participated in the assignment. Only include the group members' names of students that actually participated in the project. Okay, if they did not participate, then you do not include them. Okay, notes need to be included in each of the slides that elaborate on the slide's content. So every slide you have has to have notes. Now on the actual slide, I only want key information presented. Okay, I only want maybe phrases or short words or something that explains whatever is it that you're trying to relate to the audience. Okay, I don't want you to overload your slide with information. Okay, so you put key points, key information, key bullet items, and then you supplement that with your notes. In your notes, you have to include notes ranging from 150 to 250 words, and that is what you're going to be speaking in your presentation. Okay, you don't include your notes. This is a major requirement. You will be docked majorly for not having or meeting the criteria. Okay, so it's very important that you keep it simple, keep your slides simple. Maybe include some diagrams, some images that relate to what you're presenting, key ideas, and then verbally you explain it using the notes, the information in the notes section. Okay. It is very important that you cite all of your sources within the notes section and the slide as well. Okay, so if you obtained information from a source, make sure that you cite it. Now the citation should be after the sentence. Okay, I've had students write me 300 words and then at the very end they give me a list of 4 sources. Okay, I don't know what source you use for each of those sentences. We're citing using APA style. If you are citing, let's say you get information for the first sentence, you should have a citation after that first sentence that tells me, okay, this is where you got the information from. Okay, so we are using APA citations. Make sure that you cite your sources. There's a lot of information out there for citing. Okay, all group members must actively participate in researching, preparing the presentation, and the delivery of the presentation. All members of the group must participate in recording the section of the presentation you worked on. I will not accept presentations that are missing audio. Now, the audio needs to be clear when you are presenting. You should be confident of the information that you're presenting. The audio should be clear. There should be limited or no background noise. So you can make it, the audience can have it easy to listen to and understand what you're presenting. Okay. A title slide must be included, which includes the names of the group members that participated only. A reference page needs to be included as well as in-text citations within the slides and the notes section of the PowerPoint. Okay, references must be listed in alphabetical order. So when you compile your references, your reference list, let's say there's 4 of you in the group, you all get your reference list together. It needs to be referenced in alphabetical order. Okay. Plagiarism will not be tolerated. Please ensure that you cite your sources accordingly. Now, this is not an English class. I am not so much going to dock you about, citing or errors that you make in that sense. But it is important that you do not plagiarize and that you always cite the information if you got it from a source. Okay? Students are encouraged to include statistics, graphs, charts, or any other images within their presentation. Try to make it look professional. Don't overload your slides with, like cartoon looking pictures. Keep it professional, simple. That way the audience can go ahead and follow along. Okay. Now this is the setup for the presentation. Okay. These are the requirements. This is what you have to include in your presentation. Okay. So the PowerPoint presentation needs to include the following components. Please organize the presentation accordingly. Okay, the first thing you have to do is to define and explain in detail the information, the importance of internal controls in a business. Okay. How important is internal controls, or why is internal control so important in a business? We're going to explain the effects or the impacts the Sarbanes-Oxley Act had on reporting internal control for the business. You're going to explain in detail the 5 key components of internal control, which includes the control environment, risk assessment, control activities, information and communication system, and monitoring processes. Okay. You're going to provide examples that help better understand each of the 5 components of the internal control referenced in letter item C. So give me some examples of risk assessment. Give me some examples of control activities so the audience can be able to understand. When you're doing this presentation, you're going to assume that the audience has no knowledge about internal controls. So you have to present your information in a very basic manner to where random or common people are able to understand the importance of internal controls in a business. Okay. And then you're going to identify and explain the effective internal control procedures for cash. This is both receipts and payments, inventory, receivables, and payables. Okay. The group project is worth 150 points. 140 points is for the actual presentation. 10 points is for the self and peer evaluation. Next week, you're going to have 2 assignments that you're going to have to submit. One of them is the group project. The other one is a self and peer evaluation. And I'll be going over that information next week. Just know that the actual project is worth 150 points. Okay. Only the group members that participate in the group assignment will obtain the points. Okay. Next week, you are going to be completing a self and peer evaluation when you are done with the survey. Please be truthful in your responses. And it's not optional. All students need to complete the self and peer evaluation so I can issue you a grade for your project. Okay. Failure for you to submit the self and peer evaluation will result in you earning a 0 for the entire project. So it is very important that you do not forget to complete the self and peer evaluation. Okay. So basically what I do is I use the self and peer evaluation to gauge, how much each of the group members participated in, or any feedback that a certain group member wants to include. Only I have access to the self and peer evaluation, so it's confidential. If I do find conflicting evaluations, I will maybe reach out to you to try to figure out what is correct, so I can be able to issue out the assignment points. Okay. I highly encourage that you utilize Blackboard messages to communicate with each other, only because that information is saved in the system. If you decide to go in an alternative route, I totally understand. I know a lot of students like to use WhatsApp. Okay, just make sure that you save your communication in case something were to happen and there should be a dispute about a grade or someone participating or not participating. Okay, just make sure that you save any correspondence that you have. Students are going to have 2 full weeks, weeks 15 and 16, to complete the group project. Okay, each group member or each group must designate a team leader that is going to be responsible for submitting the final presentation. Only 1 submission per team will be accepted. Okay. There will be no late assignments, so make sure that you do meet that deadline. You have more than enough time. You have 2 full weeks to work on this project. So make sure that you just organize your time so you can be able to meet the requirements. Set deadlines as a group. Okay, by this date, all of us should have already completed your portion of the assignment. On this date, we are going to meet as a group, and put the presentation together and go over it and provide each other constructive feedback. Make any needed changes, stuff like that. On this date, we're going to record the lecture. Once we've reviewed all of the actual information that's going to be included, we're going to now record the lecture. Whatever it is, however you want to organize it, just make sure that there is communication, that you all do review each other's work, that you all meet the deadlines, and that all of the requirements are included in your presentation. Okay, so that is also included. If you all have any questions about either the group project requirements or the members, please communicate with me as soon as possible. That way I can get you an answer and you can move on and continue working on the assignment. Okay. Below that, I've included some short videos dealing with APA style, adding audio to the presentation, writing notes on PowerPoint, anything that might help you to complete the project. Okay, so those are just informational videos that you might want to watch. They're short videos, and hopefully help you complete specific tasks that are being required of you in the project. Okay, so this is what's going to be going down on week number 15. We are going to begin working on the group project, and we are learning about internal controls. Okay, so that is all I have for you this week. Remember, you don't have any assignments that need to be completed, just reading chapter 7 appendix, and then of course begin coordinating and working with your classmates to get that project done. Okay, so that is all I have for you today. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Thank you.